Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Armory here in Bluefield, West Virginia, where this afternoon it is the 18-3 Bluefield Beavers, ranked number 3 in Class AA, going up against the 6-10 Fairmont Senior Polar Bears. Chris Kidd here with you alongside me, Bob Bolam, with Butch Mounts, our engineer, and Joe Mounts, our cameraman, for this afternoon's game. And you look at their records, Bob. This is really a carbon copy of what we saw a year ago. Again, this is a Fairmont team that has been in the state championship game. They've been a state powerhouse. Now they're on the other ledger of this. Now they've lost Jalen Bridges, Zion Dobbs, Patrick Laxton to Silas Jones to graduation. And Bluefield's on the other side of this. Really a fascinating turn of events as to where these two teams have been in the last few years, considering they did meet in the state semis last year as well.
And that's true. And in that state semifinal game, Fairmont played an unbelievable game. They were up something like 44-7.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. But what's Lee Corso say? Hold on 1 minute. Now, let me tell you, this Fairmont team recently took Robert C. Bird to overtime, and they've got the quarterback from the football team back and another player, and Dave Redden is one of the best coaches in the state. So just do not count this Fairmont team out by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I said you're talking about two teams that have been at the heights of AA basketball in the state of West Virginia. They've each been to the state tournament each of the last 8 years, and with Bluefield winning 2 titles in 2013 and 14, Fairmont winning 2 titles in 2017 and 18. So you're looking at royalty as far as AA basketball goes.
Oh, without a doubt. And, you know, if you took your handful, I think you and I would probably agree 6 teams have a really good shot at winning the state championship in AA. And Bluefield's definitely one of those 6, powerhouse. But a dark horse for the state tournament coming out, it has to be Fairmont. The Polar Bears are coming on late in the year, and I guess I go way back, Chris, to Don Knuckles won a state championship at Mullins with a 10-10 team.
Yeah.
And Dave Redden has enjoyed coaching this team. So with that name Fairmont on their jerseys, you can never count them out.
Yeah, and you know, they haven't had a losing season since 2008. They've won 20 or more games 7 of the last 8 years. And this is an impressive stat, too, here, Bob. They've only lost 13 games coming into this year. In the past 5 years, they have won 123. So this Dave Redden, I mean, he knows how to turn programs around. He knows how to turn seasons around. And I'm like you, I think that double overtime loss by 1 to Robert C. Bird the other night might be a momentum changer for them heading towards the end of this regular season. And they've got a long stretch here, playing 5 games in 10 days coming up. I think they're going to have a nice stretch coming up, and I think they're going to build that momentum going into tournament play.
Chris, I have to agree with you 100% on what you just now said. And, you know, I appreciate working with you as somebody that does their homework and knows high school basketball like you do, because, I mean, you know the facts, you know these two teams and their history and what they mean to basketball in the state of West Virginia. And I'm just glad we get to do this game today and the people get to see it.
Well, it's going to be a fun afternoon here from the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia. We're going to step aside for a break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about today's matchup, as well as get you set for the tip between Bluefield and Fairmont Senior, as you are watching high school basketball presented by Little General Stores right here on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
Make your next car buying experience easy at Midstate Ford or Northside Automotive at Northside Drive in Summersville. We've got 9 great brands in one giant location: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC. That's right, folks. Just off Route 19 in Summersville, West Virginia's premier car dealership, Midstate Ford and Northside Automotive. Just a short drive from anywhere. Visit us today.
first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
We have a lot of good soccer players that step up when we need them to and play certain positions, even if that's where they don't think they need to play. When you put all our roles together, we can be successful. My reason why is passion.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolin here with you, getting set for Bluefield and Fairmont Senior. And Bob, talked a little bit about Fairmont. Let's talk a little bit about Bluefield. They've won 9 in a row since their 73-70 loss to Shady Spring on January 17th. And they've won 8 of them by 19 or more points and 7 of them by 23 or more points, including destroying Princeton last night, 97-65. They've only lost to Shady Spring by 3, Princeton by 2, and Chapmanville by 10. And they have scored 80 or more points in 7 of their last 8 games. I mean, this has been a Bluefield team that's been a runaway freight train.
Oh, it is, and it all starts with Braden Cruz, the point guard that can fill it up from deep. That Princeton was a revenge win.
Oh, yeah.
After a loss early in the season. And they have another revenge game here on Video Productions Monday night when the Shady Spring Tigers come into town. But Cruz can really shoot the ball well. They get their pressure defense going. Harrison's really good, and House are really good in the press. And House is so rugged around the basket. And then don't forget, Sean Martin has improved so much since the beginning of the year. And Bluefield is a force in AA.
Yeah, they've been sharing the ball very well as well. You know, you look at 27 assists last night in that win over Princeton, including shooting 57%. And I mean, you as a former great coach yourself, you know, you talk about moving the basketball, not letting it stick, getting high percentage shots, and that's exactly what Bluefield has been able to do here in the last 8-9 games or so, and they are just playing so fundamentally sound.
Oh, you hit that on the head, Chris. Bluefield, I've watched these kids since they were 7 years old in AAU, and it's the same group that's been together forever. I mean, the same starting lineup. They've played together since they were in bitty buddy ball, and I think they really have something to prove here at the end of the season, and they've had a tremendous season. And you know, they had a taste in their mouth from the state tournament last year, and boy, did I call that wrong. I said, wow, what an exciting game we have. I really thought that before the game, and Fairmont just came out and railroaded Bluefield, and I think that Bluefield used that as motivation, and they're peaking at the right time of the year, and they are definitely a contender for that state championship in Charleston.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about contrast in styles here this afternoon too. It's going to be very different because Bluefield, they're averaging 79 points per game, Fairmont 46 per game. Bluefield giving up 58 a game, Fairmont giving up 50 a game. I looked at it, and Fairmont, their games this year have been played in the 30s and 40s, and they've only scored 50 or more points 5 times, and they've only scored 60 one time, and that was in their most recent win against Liberty Harrison on February 5th. How does Fairmont Senior drag Bluefield down and slow this game down, considering the Beavers have scored 80 or more in 7 of those last 8, as we mentioned just before our break?
Well, step 1 is the first 3 minutes of the game. Fairmont needs to take a 6-point lead in the first 3 minutes of the game in order to pull the ball out and hold it like that. If they go down 10 early, they have to play up and down, and they do not want to do that. Coach Redden told me before the first game of the year, probably 3 weeks before the first game, you know, knowing that I wasn't going to tell anybody, he said, I'm taking the air out of the ball. I said, you're doing what? He said, I'm going to hold the ball that first game. And boy, I said, you know, we're doing every shady game. He said, Bob, I trust you. I know what you are. So I didn't tell a single person. But now, after 18 games
the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, everybody knows they like to hold the ball. They like to be very deliberate. You know, since the addition of the quarterback and the tight end on the football team, he'll be willing to play more. But early in the year, hey, it's about what you need to do to win the game. Both teams have a game plan. That's why we tip it off, to see which one's going to be successful.
And I think it shows just the versatility of someone like Dave Retton. You know, last year you're scoring over 90 points almost every game. You're running and gunning, scoring 100 in the Civic Center, and now it's back to basic fundamental basketball play defense, play hard, get your good shots, be patient. I mean, it's very hard to change from that with what he had. I think that's just a big nod of the cap to him and what he's been able to do with this team.
Oh, it is, and got to say on the other side of that ball, Buster Large,
yes,
boy, he's coached it at a consistent high level over a long period of time.
Oh, yeah. You know, you look at Dave Retton, he's been at Fairmont Senior 22 years now. Buster Large in his 11th year at Bluefield. These are two teams that know what their identity is, and they know what to do once they get on the floor. Well, right now we're going to step aside for a break and be back with the start of Fairmont and Bluefield right after this, as you are watching live right here from the Armory in Bluefield on Video Productions.
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Make your next car buying experience easy at Mid-State Ford or Northside Automotive at Northside Drive in Summersville. We've got 9 great brands in one giant location: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC. That's right, folks, just off Route 19 in Summersville, West Virginia's premier car dealership. Mid-State Ford and Northside Automotive, just a short drive from anywhere. Visit us today.
Goalkeeper gives me a responsibility that I wouldn't get anywhere else on the field. Nothing else is important except how you're going to help your team. I'll never get to win a game, but I'll keep us from losing a game. My reason why is competition.
My car was totaled and I had just had it 8 months.
Every case is different and every case is important.
I just felt comfortable knowing they were taking care of stuff.
Our most important job is to take care of everything so you can focus on recovery.
They made me feel like I was special, like they were working just one-on-one with me.
Carol's case mattered. We like to take care of our own.
I did matter to them.
Call Farmer Klein and Cam, because around here,
you matter.
Call 346-5990.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Bob Boland with you. Fairmont Senior just being introduced. Let's listen in to Bluefield's introductions.
And now, the starting number for your Bluefield Beavers, wearing number 12, Brady Bad Boy Cruz. Wearing number 2 is Tommy. Take that. And number 10 uniform, it's Johnny Hot Boy House.
of the introductions and all the nicknames are finished here now in the pregame. And I like that from the Bluefield announcer right there. A little bit of flavor for each player coming out as we are set to tip things off here from the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolam with you, with Butch Mounts, our engineer, and Joe Mounts, our engineer on camera up top here. And here in the early going, I think we could be able to tell quickly, Bob, how this game's going to flow. If Fairmont can get out to a quick lead, try and get into their style, or if Bluefield can get this into the up and down affair they want.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Chris. And Bluefield, you can expect their pressure defense after all made baskets and definitely after all free throws.
Now they'll come out, jump it up from the center circle. As interestingly, 6'7" Sean Martin won't be the man that jumps it up, but you have to figure that Jaheim House may be a better leaper as they put him into the middle. As we're glad you're with us here on Video Productions this afternoon, as Jalen Johnson controls the tip, and Fairmont will take it left to right across your television and computer screen. As they get it over to Johnson in the right corner, driving in on Martin, able to go reverse with it, and Jalen Johnson with a quick two.
Jalen Johnson, great job driving, beautiful reverse layup. As Fairmont sits up in the, they're in their man-to-man, half-court man-to-man.
And Johnson and Washington's really the only two, and maybe with Flowers, that got to see significant playing time in the last couple of years when Fairmont made all those runs to the state finals in Charleston. To get it out front, Cruz, he'll take a step back three, no good off the side of the rim, rebounded by Martin underneath. He's boxed in amongst the trees, and they'll get a whistle and a foul underneath. They're going to get that on Gomalak, his first, so it'll stay with Bluefield, trailing 2-0.
Fairmont stays in their man-to-man on the OB unders.
So get it to House, he'll dribble inside, back out front. Now they'll reset at the top of the key with Cruz. Cruz had 26 last night in that win over Princeton's. He was just phenomenal in that game. Now kicks it over right side for Hairston. Into Martin. Martin was in foul trouble a lot last night. Drives in left side. Wow. His layup is good, and just a power move by Martin.
Martin is so improved, getting that ball at the foul line, going off the bounce to his left, able to convert.
And he's got 74 blocks on the year too, Bob. He's just been a monster on the inside. He had 6 of those last night, even without playing very many minutes. They go down low, turnaround jumper inside the paint, off the rim, no good for Washington. It's rebounded by Martin. As pass up ahead, got away from Cruz and out of bounds. It'll go back over to the Polar Bears.
Got the little general replay. Martin looked high-low first, able to go off the bounce to the left, and a good, strong conversion.
Now crossing midcourt is Flowers. He'll bring it over right side for Johnson. Johnson takes it on baseline again, got to the paint, but may have been rejected by Howells, goes back up and rejected again, taken away by by Bluefield. As the Beavers race into the front court, Howells takes it in left side, goes up with the left hand, and Howells will finish to give Bluefield their first lead.
Jaheim House, that's his game, driving to the basket, tough slasher, inside player.
And again, just such a senior-laden club. All 5 starters for Bluefield seniors. As you mentioned, Bob, they've been together since they were 7 years old, and they know how to play together out here on the floor.
It's really interesting, Chris, watching two teams both play man-to-man defense and how different their man-to-man is. Bluefield is an in-your-passing lane man-to-man as Bluefield gets a steal and Paris gets a traveling violation. But Fairmont's inside the three-point line. Big help, not pressuring the ball. You know, they're playing the bend, don't break man, where Bluefield is all out half court in the passing lane. So there's different ways to play man-to-man, and Fairmont plays a more help side man-to-man.
And those are those little nuances that a lot of regular folks like even me that watch sport don't pick up on. So that's great pickup, Bob. As you would know, obviously, as they get it out front, Washington's will go for 3 left side, no good, tipped out, back to Johnson. He'll take a mid-range jumper off the rim, no good, and rebound, and we're going to get a foul underneath, looks like, against Fairmont.
Yeah, they had Washington's on the push-off. Extend. I don't think Coach Redden's happy with that. Washington asked him what he did on that. He extended both arms on the push, and the referee had his eyes on him.
So Bluefield leading at 4-2, 5:15 to go in the first quarter. They swing it over right side for Paris. Paris looking down low for Martin, able to finally establish position, turns in, shot off the mark. Good defense that time by Eric Smith. Polar Bears bring them in the front court, almost stole him in the back court, knocked out of bounds by Bluefield. It'll stay with the Polar Bears as Harrison got his hands in.
Boy, I have to say something good, Chris. Boy, I hate to about the referees, but this veteran crew, they're setting the parameters down early in the game. They called the push in the back on the other end on Fairmont. They called the reach here, and they're setting it early on how they're going to call the game.
Now we get
there's another reach, and
they're going to get that on Cruz.
Yeah, and then as a coach, that's when you adjust. You say, all right, guys, the game's going to be called close. At least the referees have told them how they're going to call it right now by their whistle, and so you have to quit the reaching.
Now steal by Hairston. He runs out, and he'll get an easy lay-in. The 5'9" senior, he had 20 last night. It was a career high for him last night against Princeton, and he gets his first 2 here.
So quick, and look at Bluefield adjusting. They're playing with their feet now, and those shoot passing lanes.
Oh, and there was a dangerous pass, but it got through underneath to Smith, and he'll finish right on the right side. Makes it 6-4 now, Bluefield.
Well, you can see the improvement of this Fairmont team from the first weekend of the season. They look like a totally different team.
Nice entry pass there. Able to get position was Paris, and 4 of the starters have scored for Bluefield now as Harrison almost with another steal.
Yeah, and Coach Redden was looking at the bench substituting, and Bluefield created another turnover. I don't think he realizes that Bluefield has, no, they said it was knocked out by Bluefield, so Fairmont will keep possession.
So we are almost halfway through the first quarter. 8-4 the lead for the number 3 ranked Bluefield Beavers. As they go up against the Fairmont Senior Polar Bears, who have basically lived in the Charleston Civic Center the last several years, and now trying to pull off an upset here today over the Beavers, who have won 9 in a row. As Washington gets it out front. He's into the game is Gage Michael. He almost lost it. Gets it over left side for Gomalak. Now back over. As looking inside was Michael. Now he'll swing it back over left side. Fake on the jumper. Again, Hairston in the passing lane and stripped away. Long outlet pass. Cruz somehow able to come down with it. Takes a jumper from the free throw line. In and out, no good. Rebound comes out in the corner, and we're going to go whistle, and last touch by Bluefield.
Now, Chris, my job as an analyst is to talk about basketball.
Yes.
And now I pride myself on knowing about sports, and I hope I'm right. Was it Bluefield and Fairmont in the state championship football game?
Yes,
AA?
Well, no, this year it was the semifinals, but yes,
semifinals.
They've been against each other each of the last 2 years before then.
Now, I watched that semifinal game. That's right, it was a semifinal game. So these kids are familiar with each other. Martin is signed to go to WVU to play football, and great athletes out here on the floor. Good pass by Paulus.
Able to find House underneath, but stripped away by Washington, and that's going to get a timeout by Dave Retton with 3:21 left here in the first quarter, a 30-second timeout, so it'll stay here with an 8-4 Bluefield lead. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up with football again. I kind of forgotten about that. But yeah, Bluefield was just so good. We went up and did their playoff game against Man in the first round, and they were just so dominant. And they're so quick, so athletic, and so smart about the way that they play on both sides of the ball, and that carries over into basketball. But Fairmont, they won 1 in football. Bluefield beat them 1 in football. So like you said, these are 2 teams that have a rivalry that extends beyond basketball.
Yeah, and so Bluefield won that semifinal and then got beat by Bridgeport in the championship. Well, I'm pulling them out today, Chris. Hey, I watched that one too. I've got to, with this video production, got in the habit of watching high school sports on the TV, and it carried over to football season, and you pop it up on your big screen, and there it is, 50, 60 inches high def, and I really enjoyed watching those games. At least I still got a memory to remember who played. But I did get to watch those games, so really good athletes, and that's Gage Michael was the quarterback this year for Fairmont.
Yeah, yours is better memory than mine on that one. I'm glad you picked that up. As Johnson brings it up the left side, gets it back up top for Flowers. He'll extend back out. And again, mention that Fairmont knocked Bluefield out in 2019 state tournament, also beat them in the quarterfinals of the 2016 state tournament, but also Bluefield beat them in the 2013 state finals in AA.
And, they got the traveling call there, but you look at Jalen Johnson for Fairmont, and, he just looks like an all-state football player, and he didn't play.
Yeah.
So, back here's Bluefield setting up in there. 1-4 high set, and good job of getting in the passing lane by Michael.
Michael, the quarterback, but there he plays good safety as he comes up with a steal and takes it in for the layup, and it's 8-6 Bluefield. Quick drive on the other end. Nice take and finish by Paris. He's got 4 points now.
Yeah, Colin Paris made a nice pass a few possessions ago there with a great drive to the basket.
In the backcourt, Washington picks up his dribble, finds Michael.
Bluefield switched to a zone press that possession.
And almost able to get the turnover, knocked out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Polar Bears. And there's Hairston again, almost with a strip.
Yeah, good defender. Well, it's interesting for Fairmont. Johnson is their 4-man, but they'll bring him up against a man-to-man press and let him play the point. So he'll go from, he's kind of what they call in college now a point forward.
Now it's a 4-point Bluefield lead, so Fairmont hanging in here in the first quarter thus far against this Polar Bear team, or against this Bluefield team that's just been dominant as of late, as Washington feeds it inside, mid-range jumper, no good. Washington, though, gets the rebound, takes it back into the left corner and resets. Now he'll kick it up top for Michael as we fall under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Johnson on the left wing, back up top. So now slowing things down a little bit here on this possession, looking for the good pass, and now it gets away inside as Smith couldn't corral it. Now Bluefield with an opportunity over to Cruz. Cruz, the only starter yet to score in this game for Bluefield. He'll bring it back out. And Fairmont has done a fairly good job of being able to slow this game down thus far. I said this Bluefield team's been scoring in the 80s in the last 7-8 games, and right there's why. Again, just Sean Martin just so imposing on the inside.
Just a drop step, fundamental post move, and he has really developed his game.
Now up ahead, they get it to Johnson, able to save it, gets it to Washington. He couldn't corral the pass and ended up traveling with it.
You know, both of these teams play traditional basketball with a post player and a designated point guard. Well, here Monday night, you'll see a team play positionless basketball, and that's what Shady Spring plays, and people are excited. You better get here early Monday night. It's going to be a sellout.
I know what I'll be listening
Beautiful.
to.
Wow.
What a pass.
Tyrese Harrison with a nice dish to Sean Martin for the bucket.
I don't know how that ball got through, but somehow it did. And take a look at it here, Bob.
Yeah, there's the pick. There's the roll. Nice pocket pass on the Little General instant replay.
That was perfect. Did it better than I could on that one. But yes, that was a great pocket pass there by Hairston. He's doing it all here in the first quarter as he's extended the lead now to 8 with 44 seconds left in the first. As Washington gets it over right side, 3 on the way. Off the back iron, no good by Flowers. Rebound comes down for Paris. Now a chance to take this to double digits for the Beavers. Out front, taking the 3 is Paris. He's off the front iron. Rebounded, though, by Martin underneath. Kicks it back out. Paris now lobs it left corner for Cruz. Cruz holding, and now look like Bluefield as you hear Coach Large and the rest of the bench screaming for one shot.
Very smart play. You're either going to take a double-figure lead in at halftime or 8. Very smart play by the Bluefield coaches.
Down to 9 seconds. They get it back to Hairston. He'll dribble to the top of the key. Gives it off. And now the Bluefield bench announced how much time left. Paris will heave a 3. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. And that'll end the first quarter with Bluefield leading Fairmont 14-6. You are watching Bluefield and Fairmont Senior Basketball with us right here on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia. But what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
Start of quarter number 2 here from Bluefield, West Virginia. Chris Kidd here with you. Alongside me, Bob Boland. And Bob, Fairmont did a nice job of keeping this game at a low scoring in the first quarter, but yet still struggling on the offensive end.
Yeah, just couldn't put it in the basket. And Bluefield, to attack Fairmont's I don't know what I want to call it, not a lazy man, a sagging man-to-man. They brought in Caden Fuller, a three-point shooter from deep. Fairmont has changed to a 2-3 zone now. Watch out for Fuller, spotting up.
Yeah, he's trying to find a spot over in the corner right now. Get it over right side, driving baseline, kicking it out to Martin, but nice hands by Johnson to poke it away. So a steal for Fairmont senior. Trying to cut into this 8-point deficit. Johnson will go from the corner, off the iron twice, no good. Rebound fought for, taken by Gage, able to save it to Flowers. Now back to Gage, he'll take a three from the right corner and buries it. Big three for Fairmont.
Gage Michael knocking it down from the corner.
Gage Michael with 5 points now. Cuts the lead to 14-9 as Hairston gets it back out front for Cruz. They reset the offense. They swing it over into the right corner. Hairston thought about a three, but he'll pull it back down. As they get it, Isaiah Rivers now back over to Hairston. Pump fakes again, drives in on Wassenitz, but cut off. So they'll reset again.
Now, Chris, when Bluefield gets that ball, the matchup that they want to go to is Sean Martin is guarding Jalen Johnson on this end. And they could pull Martin away from the basket and let Johnson use his quickness on one-on-one. Let's see if they go for that here, as they got a foul against the Beavers.
Well, here's our little general great prices, convenient places replay, and you see the three by Gage Michael.
Okay. Now, first thing, you know, Fairmont has to attack the press. If they have numbers, they have to attack it. You know, if you don't attack it after you beat it, that just lets teams become more aggressive. So the first thing is that if they beat the press and don't shoot, look for them to maybe try to isolate Jalen Johnson one-on-one and spread the floor, because he has a quick first step.
They got that foul on Isaiah Rivers. That'll be his first. Team foul number 4 against Bluefield, 2 against Fairmont Senior.
Okay, they switched. They put him on Washington, and look at what Dave Redden went to. You catch that, Chris?
That was great.
Yeah, they moved Sean Martin to guarding Washington's, and the first thing Dave Redden did was spread the floor for Washington's.
Oh, and almost an offensive foul on the other end as Martin barreled over Johnson, but no whistle, as House misses at the rim, rebounded by Michael. Gets it up ahead now to Flowers. A chance here to tie the game on a three. Michael dribbles in, almost lost it, and that one batted away by Martin, taken by Hairston, and he's tripped up by Washington.
Bluefield just so quick to the loose ball. And as you said, down on the other end, almost a foul. That's the stuff that gets me about high school basketball. I'm so glad they didn't call it. I mean, all Big Boy did was post it up, and somebody falls down. Yeah, and so much in high school, they'll blow that whistle, and they'll take the big guy out of the game. And
Buster Large is going over to the Fairmont bench area here and looks like maybe looking to talk to an official. And now they're going to bring him back over here. Yeah, he doesn't seem upset by anything. I think he just wanted clarification on something. So it appears everything's okay. And I think Dave Redden also asking about it, but he seems appeased and fine with everything as well. So we're going to go back to action here. 14-11, Bluefield leads it. Okay, he was trying to check and see on one of his players who they thought was bleeding. Okay, so yeah, it looked like 11 had some blood on his uniform a little bit there.
That's what Coach was checking out. And they made 15 come out of the game a few possessions ago. That was Isaiah Rivers, and he was the one bleeding, and I believe it got on
Paris's jersey.
Yeah, on Paris's jersey, and they're just trying to make sure they got the right one. And he had went to the Rivers had went to the dressing room and got another uniform, and looks like everything's back and ready to go.
Okay, so now that's all it was, and thankfully everything okay as we go back to action here. 14-11, Bluefield leads it. Under 6 minutes to go now in the first half. Over to Paris, now to Cruz. He's yet to score, and still scoreless in the book as that one got halfway down and popped out, and ball goes back over to the Polar Bears.
Well, Fairmont has been in the zone for 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and Bluefield yet to get a basket. So I guess what they're going to be in next possession, Chris.
You take a wild guess.
2-3 zone. All right, let's see where now they have Martin, and they've changed him up again. He's guarding Gomalak.
They They get it out front for Washington. It's back to Gomalak. He'll go for the tie. No good off the side of the rim. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Fairmont, it appears, and it'll go back over to Bluefield.
Yeah, whoever Martin is guarding, Coach Redden is putting that guy on the perimeter to try to get Martin away from the basket to limit his shot blocking abilities.
And I was going to say, a nice kick there by Gomalak to keep it away, but now they go down to Martin. He gets position and he'll lay it up and in. He's got 8 points now in the half. Quickly, Fairmont races into the front court over to Washington. He'll take the three, no good. He's fouled on it, however, and that's going to send him to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
Yeah, they got Sean Martin on the foul. You got to close out short. You can't foul the jump shooter. And let's take a look at this. Here's Martin, had a long run for the closeout, and he just kept going forward. That's a foul.
Yeah,
they got another one right. Oh, no. That is a great call. I mean, you have to close that out. I mean, the contact happened after the ball was released, but the big fella, he's too important to his team. He has to close out short with a hand and go back to the rebound.
And that's only the first one on Martin here tonight. As we said, he was in a lot of foul trouble last night. Still had a good ball game against Princeton with 21 points.
I'm a heck of a referee with this high-def instant replay, baby.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like being a backseat driver almost. I was like, I get them all right from the house.
Hey, and we have the luxury of that. So it was the correct call, and Washington gets another one from the free throw line. 3-point game.
Missed the first, but connected on the next two, so 16-13. Again, Fairmont right here with Bluefield as pull-up jumper for Cruz, bending and falls through. There's the first bucket of the game for Braden Cruz.
Yeah, Braden Cruz attacking the center gap between the two guards. Ooh, boy, we got a good one brewing inside there between Jaheim House and Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, they're really going at each other.
Oh, yeah, that's 2 tough cookies there.
He's going to take House off the dribble, rejected by Martin from the weak side, knocked loose into the hands of the Polar Bears over to Washington. And Martin comes out of nowhere.
Now, that's the main reason Fairmont wants to pull Martin away from that basket.
3 on the way for Fuller, no good. House with the rebound, and he's fouled by Johnson on the putback.
Jaheim is in the house. Getting after him. He likes that kind of game, and you can tell Johnson does too.
Yeah, right here on our Little General Great Prices, Convenient Places Instant Replay, and you see the move by Martin to be able to get over and get these rejections, Bob.
Oh, there's one of them. Boom, Martin coming for them. And he knocks somebody down, helps him up, and gets another block. Sean Martin.
He's got time to be a great civilian and also be a rim protector. Bam, there's another one.
Boy, that helps your shot blocking average. You get 2 of them in the span of 5 seconds.
House able to hit on the first free throw. He had 8 points in the win over Princeton last night. He's got 3 thus far today.
And then Bluefield went 2 minutes and 9 seconds without scoring against the zone. Now 3 straight possessions. They had a drop step 2, a floater 2, and now 2 free throws. So Fairmont may be looking to change up again here in a second.
Washington's good crossover, had it poked away, gets it back, feeds it inside, floater on the way, bends off, no good. Rebounded by Johnson, though. He tries to go back and attack, kicks it out, driving left corner and cut off. Now back out to Johnson. Fairmont resets at the top of the key.
Great job of rotating by Bluefield. Wow, they helped on the drive and did a complete rotation. That was beautiful defense.
And there you saw Flowers, his shot way off the mark. Again, that's just the shot blocking ability of Bluefield there as Cruz goes for 3, no good. But Martin with the rebound, tries to kick it out and has it stolen away on the pass. Washington looks up ahead. Johnson gets behind everyone, drives in on Hairston and slam dunk for Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson showing off the bunnies.
He rocks the rim to bring it down to 5. And now another steal taken away. Up ahead, another run out here. Here's Vianney. He'll take it in and layup is good. And Buster Large wants a timeout.
And it's going to be a full one, Chris.
So we'll step aside with 3:32 left in the first half as Bluefield and Fairmont in a 3-point game as you are watching high school basketball with us, presented by Little General Stores here on Video Productions.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
When it comes to getting a new set of wheels, everybody knows the Midstate name. Midstate Ford, Arbuckle Road in Summersville, and Midstate Chevrolet, I-79, exit 67 in Flatwoods, West Virginia's #1 choice for brand new Chevys and brand new Fords, and proud supporters of West Virginia sports. So when it's time to trade, check out MidstateFordWV.com or MidstateChevy.com for the guaranteed lowest price on a brand new Ford or Chevy from the stock of deep sell 'em cheap boys at Midstate.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolam with you, and we're going to take a look at that dunk by Jalen Johnson here on that run out, Bob.
Jalen Johnson got the feet set. He's a strong finisher around the rim. Great leaping ability, and looky here. Fairmont's changed up again after the timeout. Here they come in full court pressure.
And the chess match continues.
I would be scared of that.
And Johnson, only a junior, too. You know, he had 23 points and 4 steals against Robert C. Byrd the other night in a close game. And right now, Fairmont, after trailing by 7, has whittled it back down to 3. Now here's House.
Back in their man-to-man defense. Dave Redden doing a tremendous job of changing up. That press right there was a smoke and mirror press. They showed all that pressure, but didn't get in it.
Flowers tried to draw the contact, but didn't get the whistle. Now Johnson will bring it back out front. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Johnson now tries to go to work on Harris.
And Johnson got away with a little push off there.
Now driving in, tough take, and a whistle and a travel call will go against Joseph Urim, the 5'10 sophomore.
Yeah, usually if the refs realized they could have possibly missed that little push off, then the next close one, which that travel was another close call, went against Fairmont.
And that's called a give-take almost. Yeah. You know, we had those in tennis a lot. His House.
Bluefield really doing, wow, big-time drive.
That was a great take that time for Bluefield, as they have now taken a 5-point lead back. Now here comes Washington's up the left side, cut off, looking under duress, able to get it out to Johnson. Now into the right corner, back out to Johnson. He'll take a 3 from that spot, no good. Rebounded though, Smith gets good position. He'll go back up and finish.
Big time, Eric Smith with the stick back.
And again, we'll try and get number 5 for you here in a moment. Again, we're trying to check. He wasn't on the roster sheet either for Bluefield, so get it back out. And then maybe Paris, who may have had to change his jersey, and that's who it is now. I think we just now realized it. So I believe now Bob getting the word as well, but I believe that was where Colin Paris had to change his jersey after the blood spot.
Boy, a kid couldn't come in with that kind of drive to the basket and be at the bottom of the scouting report. Yeah,
like Air Bud almost stepped in.
Yeah, Paris has had blood on his uniform and changed it. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say, who is that masked man that came off the bench all of a sudden?
Oh, good.
Oh, and dangerous, but able to tightrope the sidelines as Urim out for 3 for Flowers. In and out, almost popped back in and rebounded strongly by Paris underneath. Almost a tie ball game now underneath.
Beautiful pass.
Good feed to House, kicks it out to Cruz. Cruz now will bring it back out to the top of the key and reset. It's a 3-point lead for Bluefield with 1.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Now Cruz, he'll step back, take a 3 and buries it.
Cruz tight with the handles, that pull back crossover 3-point shot. Big time move.
25-19 in favor of Bluefield. Again, a 6-point swing there, almost a 3 for Fairmont, and then Cruz converts on the other end. Down to 1.5 minutes to go.
Bluefield will double team if anybody gets close for Fairmont. 2 offensive players get too close, you'll see the double team.
Pass out front. There's Hairston again on the steal. Out front, Martin leaks it out to Cruz. He'll drive in and creates the contact, and a blocking foul called on Fairmont.
Yeah, Cruz made that last step a side step, which created the blocking call.
And they're going to get that on number 5 of Fairmont. That's going to go against Jarius Jackson. That'll be his first. Now they'll inbound underneath. Cruz. Who found Martin underneath, but had it knocked away and taken by Fairmont. Up ahead. Now they look underneath. Smith was there, but there's Cruz back, able to make the interception. He looks up ahead for Parrish, but now sets up the offense, tries to drive by Johnson, but he's able to stay in front of him. Let's see if Bluefield tries to run this down or not. Nice fake by Cruz, takes it left baseline. Now back out front to Parrish. 30 seconds left in the half. Ooh, nice crossover there by Parrish. Gets inside. Haynes gives it to House. House, good spin move, but rejected on the weak side by Smith. Now here comes Johnson. 3-on-1. Tries to drive by Cruz. Had it poked away, and it'll stay with Fairmont.
Braden Cruz made a tremendous defensive play there. Looked like he knocked the ball off of the Fairmont player. And the referees get together, discuss it, and they get the call correct.
So again, good job by that refereeing crew that time, getting together, discussing it. Again, I couldn't see it from where I was at, so it was a tough angle.
Yeah, I could hear him. He said, boy, that crowd's booing awful lot. You think we missed that? And he said, yeah, I think we may have missed that play. They did. They got it right. It did get knocked off of the Fairmont player.
Down to 6 seconds and a half. Harrison dribbles into the center, puts up a tough shot, gets his own rebound and puts it in as the first half comes to a close. And Bluefield, with a late spurt, takes a 27-19 lead into intermission. Well, Bob and I are going to step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the first half of action here from the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia, as you are watching high school basketball with us, presented by Little General Stores, here live on Video Productions.
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Make your next car buying experience easy at Mid-State Ford or Northside Automotive at Northside Drive in Summersville. We've got 9 great brands in one giant location: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC. That's right, folks, just off Route 19 in Summersville, West Virginia's premier car dealership, Mid-State Ford and Northside Automotive. Just a short drive from anywhere. Visit us today.
Goalkeeper gives me a responsibility that I wouldn't get anywhere else on the field. Nothing else is important except how you're going to help your team. I'll never get to win a game, but I'll keep us from losing a game. My reason why is competition.
My car was totaled and I had just had it 8 months.
Every case is different and every case is important.
I just felt comfortable knowing they were taking care of stuff.
Our most important job is to take care of everything so you can focus on recovery.
They made me feel like I was special, like they were working just one-on-one with me.
Carol's case mattered. We like to take care of our own.
I did matter to them.
Call Farmer Klein and Cam, because around here,
you matter.
Call 346-5990.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
27-19 here at the half, as Bluefield has taken an 8-point lead into intermission. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me, Bob Boland. And Bob, Fairmont did a good job of keeping this game low in the scoring. Again, we talked about how they've played most of their games in the 30s, 40s range this year. Only been into the 50s 5 times, only been to 61 times this year, whereas Bluefield scored 80 or more in 7 of their last 8 games. So Fairmont's got this in the style they want. But then that late push, those last 5 points they have to go to Bluefield, able to get out in transition and get a little bit of separation here at the half. And if you're Bluefield or Fairmont, who do you think's more concerned here at halftime?
Well, I think both. I think both are concerned. I think Fairmont had a perfect game plan. They were playing great, but that last 30-second push, probably drives Coach Reagan crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Then on the other end, Bluefield wants the game played at a different pace, but they haven't been able to force the turnovers like they want. The big man, Sean Martin's leading them in scoring. So they got to get their guards going, and how they get their guards going is by creating turnovers and pushing the ball. So both teams concerned right now. Really interesting chess matchup the first half with Fairmont changing defenses so much, trying to really keep Bluefield off guard, and Bluefield's pressure defense creating havoc. So really interesting first half.
Yeah, and you talk about Bluefield too. I mean, the difficulty in this slate for them. I mean, you play last night against Princeton, a team that beat you earlier this year. You play against a Fairmont team in less than 24 hours, in less than 12 hours even after the fact of what you went through, or excuse me, 24 hours after what you went through with Princeton, a Fairmont team that's been in the state finals the last 4 years. And then on Monday, you turn around and play the undefeated #1 team in the state. I mean, if you're Bluefield, how are you dealing with this emotionally and mentally right now? Because this is about as difficult a 3 out of 4 day slate as any team's going to see in the state.
And this is the trap game.
Yeah.
You're talking about a 6-10 team. If they didn't have Fairmont across that jersey, it would be even more of a trap game.
Oh, yeah.
But even though they're 6-10, that they have Fairmont across their jersey, and, Buster Large could sell that to his team. Hey, they just took Robert C. Byrd to overtime. They're for real. But, such an easy trap game. I mean, everybody in southern West Virginia is talking about the undefeated Shady Spring Tigers coming in here Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've already been making arrangements of where people are going to be.
Really?
They said it's going to look like a Duke game. People are going to be standing everywhere. And now that's the AD was telling me about that. So, if they're already thinking to Monday, there is a small chance that some of these 16 or 17-year-olds could be looking ahead, but Fairmont is not a team that you can look over.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've been to this venue, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the layout of this place. I love the atmosphere of the place as well. So I figure it'd be you and Mark Martin on Monday here. I'll be at home definitely watching that ball game. Excited because I've done a lot of Logan and Chapmanville games. If you've seen those on video productions, you know what a spectacle that turns into. So I know that this place is going to be rocking on Monday night.
Boy, if it can get to 75% of that Logan Chapmanville matchup. What a matchup. Well, people, and I know it's always been a great matchup, but I think video production has added to it.
Oh, yes.
Fuel to the fire, and people are talking about that game all over the state. And this is one over the next few years, the Bluefield Shady game that people will be talking about. But guess what? We have 16 minutes left to play in this Bluefield Fairmont game. And Dave Redden's back there drawing stuff up on that board, and I'm excited about this second half.
I agree, Bob. Again, we're going to step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, it'll be time for the start of quarter number 3 here from the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia, as you are watching high school basketball with us, presented by Little General Stores and presented by Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
Make your next car buying experience easy at Midstate Ford or Northside Automotive at Northside Drive in Summersville. We've got 9 great brands in one giant location: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC. That's right, folks, just off Route 19 in Summersville, West Virginia's premier car dealership, Midstate Ford and Northside Automotive. Just a short drive from anywhere. Visit us today.
The earth beneath my feet is turning like a wheel and beating like a drum.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
We have a lot of good soccer players that step up when we need them to and play certain positions, even if that's where they don't think they need to play. When you put all our roles together, we can be successful. My reason why is passion.
Back here in Bluefield, West Virginia, as Bluefield leading Fairmont Senior 27-19 at the half. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolin here with you. Let's look at the first half scoring, getting balanced on both sides. Leading the way was Sean Martin with 8 points, then Braden Cruz with 5 points. Then you had House, Hairston, and Paris, each with 4 points in the first half. Then on Fairmont's side, they were led by Gage Michael with 5 points. Then you had Jalen Johnson, Bryson Flowers, and Eric Smith with 4 points. And then Vianney with 2 points to round out the scoring here in the first 16 minutes of play. So now with Fairmont trailing by 8 here at halftime, going into the third quarter, it'll be interesting to see how they come out offensively here. Again, both teams have done a good job getting into the passing lanes, creating defensive turnovers. Now Fairmont's got to take advantage of those and be able to finish whenever they get those turnovers here in the second half.
Yes, they do, and they have to hit some open jump shots.
Yeah.
And Bluefield does a great job of running you off the three-point line. But, I mean, Fairmont has to play a great game, but they are capable of it.
Yeah, and both teams only hitting 1 3-pointer in the first half, so it's been more of an interior game than an outside game thus far. But like you mentioned, Bob, again, both teams definitely have the hosses from the outside to be able to fill it up in a hurry. So it'll be interesting to see how this chess match continues to unfold here this afternoon, as Fairmont will get the ball first to start quarter number 3. As Washington lobs it in.
Close.
Yeah, that
very
was
close to there they go.
Wow, Hairston again with the quick hands. Feeds it off to Cruz. His layup is good. And it's now the largest lead of the game for Bluefield at 29-19. Almost.
Bluefield in this steal. Got a deflection there. I'll tell you what, Tyrese Harrison gets his team going. What a steal. And then what an unselfish play. The nice little drop off to Braden Cruz.
And here you see it.
Yep.
It's our Little General Great Prices, Convenient Places replay. And like you said, that's just the poignant moment there, as a good show of being a great teammate, feeding it off to your point guard to get that lay-in, get him going here maybe early in the second half. And now this is danger time for Fairmont, and they trail it by 10. They need some buckets in a hurry, as Bluefield's on a 7-0 run going back to the first half. They kick it over right side, back up top for Flowers. He'll penetrate in, kicks it over now to Johnson in the right corner. He'll drive in, cut off, looks back out front again. Good recovery again by Bluefield, as Washington now takes it in, puts up a floater, misses off the side of the backboard. Now outlet up ahead to Paris. Paris dribble drives in right side, can't find the angle and misses, taken away by Flowers. Puts it up the center of the floor, gets it over to Johnson. Johnson kicks it out. Thought about a 3. Now Flowers goes back inside to Johnson, trying to find an angle. He's double teamed, trying to find help. Kicks it out, 3 from the left corner, and that's a big 3 to go for Gomalak, his first points of the game.
The easiest threes to make are those kick-out threes when they come from the inside out, and a little undercut action by Eric Smith. You're talking about those guys making the right play. That reminds me, well, you get me back to the old coaching days. They always say there's no I in team, but there is an M and an E.
Yeah.
And it's up to me to make the right play to make this team better. And Tyrese Harrison made the right play on that drive.
So I said with the ME, it can't be about my enjoyment. It's got to be about more than just that. And thankfully right there you saw that good show of teamsmanship by Bluefield on that fast break. But now Fairmont with a big 3 to kill that 7-0 run.
All right, now watch the cross picks here for Martin trying to come off of the second pick. There's Martin trying to flash down low. Fairmont did a great job of stopping that OB.
Flowers had the steal, but then got tripped up and looks like he's hurt on the play as he's holding his right leg right now as he's helped up by Paris and Johnson. He's going to hobble over to the bench here.
Hoping that's just a stinger. And it looks like, you know, when you're playing and you bang knees with somebody and it feels like you're going to die, you know, the ones you got to worry about injuries when they twist.
Yeah.
When they bang into something, these young kids are usually very resilient. I hope the young man's all right.
Yeah, he's able to go down and get looked at on the bench.
Okay, now look where Big 50 is. Okay, when he lines up low on that block, he sets a diagonal pick and he tries to go back under. Now with 3 on one side, yeah, he's not going to do that.
And that time just kind of set a shade of a screen that time to get that open in the corner. They inbound it. Cruz has it. Back up top for Paris. Martin and Smith continue their jostling down low.
I like when they let him play. Oh, double foul. Now that's the one I can't stand.
It's either one of those call it or don't one situation you feel.
Now, boy, that one will drive me crazy. Either stop the game, tell them to quit bumping, or call a bump on the one that did it first. That double foul stuff, I don't know what that is. I don't know how you have a double foul. Somebody had to foul first. Should have blew the first one. I don't understand that one.
And that's a big one too, Bob. That's 3 on Martin now.
Yeah, not crazy about that kind of call.
Now they get it to Paris. He'll take a 3 from the left corner. No good. Strong rebound by Johnson.
Good pass.
Washington's behind everyone. And missed the layup, but there's Johnson. And I tell you what, that was Martin creeping up behind, I think.
What hustle by Johnson. Rebounded it. Made the great pass, followed up with the stick back.
So Fairmont battling back now. They trail by 10. Now it's down to 5. So the Polar Bears refusing to go away here today against the number 3 ranked team in the state. They get it to House. House guarded by Johnson, swings it left side. Paris thought about taking it in, now picks up his dribble, looking for help. Almost at a 5-second call. Now House with it, and we get a whistle and foul underneath here, and looks like this is going to go on Smith as he and Martin went back to their regular arm fighting, and they end up getting it on Smith, and Dave Retton not happy. It's going to be 2 now on Eric Smith. Washington's will check out, and Washington's picked up his 3rd foul a moment ago as well.
There's that play where,
and it's set up House right in front of the rim. Again, good call there, Bob.
Well, when Sean Martin lines up on the ball and they're in a block set, that's what they're running.
31-24, and there's a rejection underneath. Smith gets the loose ball out to Johnson. Johnson at the left elbow, now pulls it back out. Now they spring a double team on him. They get it to Smith in the left corner. Smith now will take it in. Pump fakes, goes up, can't get it to go. Johnson on the putback, can't get it to fall. And rebound tipped out to Martin. Nice pass up ahead to Hairston. Over to House, and he'll finish with the left hand.
Jaheim House running the floor, able to finish with the left hand.
Bluefield now, after Fairmont's spurt, they score 4 quick points, and Dave Retton wants a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. So we'll take it as well as you take a look at the fast break to House to build the lead back to 9. We'll be back after this as you are watching high school basketball presented by Little General Stores right here on Video Productions.
Your next car buying experience easy at Mid-State Ford or Northside Automotive at Northside Drive in Summersville. We've got 9 great brands in one giant location. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC. That's right, folks. Just off Route 19 and Summersville, West Virginia's premier car dealership. Mid-State Ford and Northside Automotive. Just a short drive from anywhere. Visit us today.
We wake up each morning, eager to share our passion. We work all day with purpose to build inspired relationships with our guests, our crew, and our neighbors. We're filled with pride at the end of the day, knowing that we've made a difference. Steak Escape Sandwich Grill.
Nine-point lead for Bluefield as we are back here at the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolin here with you. And Bob, after Fairmont cut it down to 5, 4 quick points on fast breaks for Bluefield, able to extend this lead back out.
Yeah, that's Bluefield's forte. Steals, layups, run the floor, play physical. And I've enjoyed this game. I think it's been a very entertaining game. Fairmont needs a bucket here. Just see Bluefield came out of the timeout and went to doubling the first pass.
There, and it went off of Flowers, and Cruz, he went between his legs on the pass, but a whistle first. And see what we have here. I don't know if they got a loose ball foul on Bluefield or not.
They had a kicking violation against Bluefield, and let's see if Bluefield goes to double the first pass again. They came out of the timeout and doubled the first pass.
Man,
Let's see what happens here. There's the first, but didn't double it that time. I'll tell you what, Bluefield gives you a lot of different things to worry about with their pressure defense.
As I said, your ball handlers have to be so sound, and your passing has to be so sound against this Bluefield team. You've got to add so many good guards to be able to go up against this relentless pressure that Bluefield springs on you. As Johnson steps into a deep jumper, and he's able to connect a deep 2.
Yeah, deep 2, foot on the line, cuts it down to 7.
So midway through the third quarter, 33-26, Bluefield leads it. Up top, Cruz, he'll step into a 3 and he'll bury it. He started to get going now. He's got 10 points.
Yeah, didn't understand that. Martin was saying pass the ball after the 3 went in. Boy, 3's worth more than 2. Let me tell you, yeah, that's not a good sign there for Bluefield. That 3 is worth more than 2 out there. Martin working hard down here. See if they run something, try to get him that ball down low. Keep the big fella posting up hard.
Again, this is going to be a critical stretch for Fairmont here late in the third.
Great
what a
pick
pass
by Martin. Martin set a great flex pick there, and Paris came off of the flex pick for the layup.
He's got 6 points now, and let's see, Dave Retton, I believe, got a timeout here with 3:28 left. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So we'll stay here with now Bluefield enjoying their largest lead at 38-26. And it just seems like after a while with Bluefield, you just get worn down. I mean, you can't help but get worn down with this type of defense that they play. And it's not just physically worn down, it's mentally worn down. There's only so much of this pressure I think you can absolve before finally you just break and say, enough, I can't take it anymore.
Oh, it is, and that's the same type of pressure that they're going to be seeing from Shady Spring on Monday. That's how Shady plays. They put the pressure on there.
I mean, think about all these teams, though, right here, Bob. I mean, my goodness, in the top 5 alone, I mean, you've got Shady undefeated, Chapmanville with 2 losses. They beat this Bluefield team. Bluefield, with only 3 losses. Then you've got Logan, who beat Polka in double overtime in that 4 versus 5 matchup. I mean, my goodness. I mean, it's crazy how good AA is this year.
And you take the Chapmanville, they didn't play well against Bluefield and won by 10.
Yeah,
that is scary.
What was unbelievable.
I mean, when you're 0 for 16 threes and you beat a good team by 10, I mean, what happens if you go 5 for 16 threes, you win by 25?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's so scary. When teams can not have a good game and win, they're good.
And even that, there's 3 of those teams there. Johnson had a good take but couldn't finish.
$50 move with a 5-cent finish.
They get it over left side for Cruz. 3:10 to go in the third quarter as Bluefield had their lead shrink to 5, but now it has ballooned to 12 and looking for more.
Same play again.
They go down low to Paris, gets the look, goes by Smith and able to finish. What a move by Paris.
Yeah, Martin was setting a pick and then he did a spin and acted like he was posting up and probably set an illegal pick.
Flowers, short jumper, no good. Rebound taken by Cruz. 14-point lead, and the Beavers looking for more. Cruz, jab steps, now steps back out. Gives it to Martin, now back to Cruz. He'll back it back out to reset with 2:35 to go in the third quarter.
Same play, 3 straight times.
It's one of those that's worked each of the last 2 times. I would stay with it, too, until it finally gets stopped. Paris now, he'll bring it back to the top of the key and reset. It's Martin he's calling for the ball. He wants it against Smith right now. It's Cruz over on the left side. Now gives it into Martin, makes a nice grab, kicks it out to Paris. He'd take it to the left elbow. Now back to Martin. They double him instantly, taken by Flowers. Now Martin gets it back, puts up the shot, and he's fouled on the play.
Well, that's why he wanted the ball. Now you see if it's the right play. If you put them both in at the free throw line, it's the right play. If you go 0 for 2, missing 2 free throws, Chris, is worse than a turnover.
Yeah.
I mean, or worse than a turnover where you throw it out of bounds. If you throw it out of bounds, at least, and then Martin steps up and knocks it down. If you throw it out of bounds, you get to set up your defense. On the second miss of a free throw, it's live.
Yeah.
Free throw shooting is such an important part of all basketball.
Yeah, that's the North Carolina Tar Heels last Saturday night.
And Martin stepped up and looked good on both of those free throws.
Yeah, he's got 10 points now for the game, does the big man. It's 42-26.
Yeah, Bluefield's opened up to 16, creating havoc on the defensive end.
And we said Fairmont couldn't allow them to get too far away from them, and now Fairmont in a lot of trouble. It's 3 top of the key, no good. Rebounded underneath by Johnson, though, as he's fouled on the way back up. And he's competed very hard here this afternoon as Jalen Johnson.
Oh, he has, and only a junior.
And that's got to be a positive for Dave Retton. No, he's got him back again. He's got him, Flowers. You know, they only really lose. They lose Washington and Jarius Jackson off this team along with Gamalak, but this is still a pretty relatively young team for Dave Retton.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they, like the record at 6-10 may not show how much they've improved since the beginning of the year.
Johnson able to connect on both free throws. He's now into double figures with 10 points, 42-28 Bluefield. 1:35 left in the third quarter. They led it by 8 at halftime. Their lead is now ballooned to 14. That's Hairston. Gets it over to Cruz. He'll take another 3. It's online, and it's good.
Well, Braden Cruz, with those feet set, is a dynamic three-point shooter.
Now it's a 17-point advantage as Johnson on the left wing. Able to get to the middle, pull-up jumper off the side of the rim, rebounded by Paris. He looks up ahead. Cruz over on the near side. Paris dribbles in. Throws it in the corner, nobody there, and taken away by Flowers. So we have 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Up ahead, they get it to Vianney. Now he looks over cross court for Washington's. He'll dribble inside, spins in against Martin. Tough turnaround, and Martin gets his paws on it again. Taken back, though, by Johnson as Martin tried to tip it out. Now Johnson on the left wing, guarded by House, gets a screen from Smith. Martin comes out on Johnson now. Again, he's so quick for a big man with with just great hands. Nice catch inside by Smith, and he's able to finish on the right side.
Used the rim to stop the shot blocking ability by Martin. Beautiful play by Eric Smith.
45-30, Bluefield in control with 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bluefield going to try and hold for one, perhaps as Paris drives baseline, feeds it over to Martin, able to get it up, and watch strength by Sean Martin.
Nice little drop off by Paris, good move by Martin. And right there's Johnson again, pushing it up the court quickly.
3 at the horn, no good by Paris. And that'll do it for the third quarter, but what a third quarter it was for Bluefield as they almost double their lead as it's ballooned to 15 as we head to the fourth period. Back after this as you are watching high school basketball with us, presented by Little General Store right here on Video Productions.
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
We wake up each morning, eager to share our passion. We work all day with purpose to build inspired relationships with our guests, our crew, and our neighbors. We're filled with pride at the end of the day, knowing that we've made a difference. Steak Escape Sandwich Grill.
We have a lot of good soccer players that step up when we need them to and play certain positions, even if that's where they don't think they need to play. When you put all our roles together, we can be successful. My reason why is passion.
Final 8 minutes of play coming up here from the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia. We're glad you're with us here this afternoon on Video Productions. Chris Kidd with you, alongside me, Bob Boland, with Butch Mounts, our engineer, and Joe Mounts up high above here, video camera tonight here for us from the Armory. And now here in the fourth quarter, Bob, Fairmont having to get completely out of their comfort zone now. They're going to have to run and gun and hopefully try and make up this deficit as quickly as possible.
Yes, they are. And yeah, speaking of the officiating crew, you got to give credit where it's due. Jay Rutledge on the game today was the West Virginia Official of the Year last year.
Not bad.
You didn't know I knew these facts, buddy. I'm spitting these facts out today.
Not bad.
Yeah, he was.
There's now a steal right away taken by Fairmont, up ahead and bobbled and thrown away over to Fuller. Now Fuller with it, gives it to Cruz.
Well, you feel for Dave Redden there. He thought he had a layup, and the ball got thrown away, and he just did a 360 on the bench. Tell you what, in Bluefield, are they going to slow it down a little with a 15-point? No, they're just trying to isolate. I don't know about isolating Jackson. He's the
it's hard to go
I'm
ISO
sorry,
on
Johnson. Yeah, Johnson's best defender out there on the court.
Now Cruz, he'll step into a three, and my goodness, he's hit 4 threes here since the first quarter. Remember whenever he hadn't scored in the first quarter, Bob?
Hey, Braden Cruz can shoot that three-pointer. Look at that pass. Oh, okay, good. He had a kick ball. He saw what I saw there. You saw the one-armed old Magic Johnson length of the floor bounce pass was there, and Fairmont made a good play, kicked the ball. Braden Cruz is going to continue his career at Concord College, and hey, what he shoots it. He's undersized, but he shoots it well. He handles the ball well. Not scared of anything. Plays tough. I think he's a good one for them.
He is. He's been very impressive here this afternoon. Again, 16 points after not scoring in the first quarter, and he's hit 4 threes. Could it be 5? This time off the mark. Rebounded underneath by Fairmont.
Nice little fade pick play set up. Now right there, with another year of maturity, Johnson will realize right there was the perfect opportunity for a great ball fake. Send the shot blocker in there. When the 6'7" shot blocker's on his way down, you go up and get the and one. And it's a maturation process, and it's step by step. Right there, if you look at it, boom, that's where you head fake the shot blocker because he had the angle on it.
Yeah.
When you have that angle, you show him the ball. I know we call it a head fake, but that's not a head fake. You show the ball over your head, put it back, chin it, and explode to the basket and lead with your elbow.
That's foul number 4 on Sean Martin now as Johnson hits on the first. We'll have another one coming. Second free throw up and good. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line now, and he's got 14 points. So 50-34, Bluefield in control. So we're still in the early stages of the fourth quarter. It's Cruz. Kicks over to Hairston. And Hairston, he might be close to double figures in steals here this afternoon as they go down low. Martin, he'll go to work. Bodies in on Johnson, draws the foul on him.
Yeah, another set play for Bluefield. They went with a really wide 4 out, 1 in to try to clear space inside for the big fella Martin, and he was able to draw the foul.
And again, it's like you're the couch and you're being moved the entire time whenever you're down there on Sean Martin. I mean, Johnson's a big, strong kid, and Martin just a little shove, a little shove, a little shove before you realize that you're underneath the basket trying to save your life as Martin misses on both. But rebound and put back up and in by Cruz.
Oh, and that drives coaches crazy. You know, they got the 2 misses, and now Bluefield gets to set up their press, and there's another steal. Time for a timeout, I believe. As Coach Redden's going to let them play through it. Oh, my goodness. Now Bluefield, do they have 6 players on the floor, Chris? I mean, no, they just got 5. They're everywhere. Another turnover. It's time for a TO.
Oh, and Cruz, no on this one, taken by Johnson. Yeah, that would have been the nail in the coffin right there had he gotten it to go. Now Washington's trying to stop the bleeding. No good. Rebounded by Johnson, though. Goes in with the left hand, and what a finish by Johnson.
There's your timeout.
5:42 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's now 54-36 in favor of Bluefield. It'll be it looks like a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep things here. And there's that great finish with the left hand by Johnson on our Little General great prices, convenient places replay. And that's something you love to see as a coach too. You know, if you can finish with your offhand at that type of an angle from that type of a distance, I mean, that shows great control and great athleticism by Johnson.
Yes, it does. And Yeah, he's getting better by the week. And not an easy place. And next year, I mean, he's probably an all-state caliber player this year.
Yeah.
Next year, he could be one of the top players in the state heading into the preseason.
And, this Fairmont team, too, a lot of people looking at the state tournament, maybe not thinking of them maybe being a state tournament team this year. But you know what? I think in their region, they've got a pretty good opportunity to get out of that if they are able to continue their momentum, because they've played well here today. It's really just been about a 5-6 minute stretch where Bluefield pulled away. But if they keep building momentum heading towards sectional and regional play, they might be able to sneak out of there and get back to Charleston for the 9th straight year.
Yeah, people better not count them out.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and then I think they have a really good chance, and they're an improved team, and
you look at teams like Chapmanville, Logan, Polka, all three of those teams in the top 5. But guess what? One of those aren't going to Charleston.
I know it. Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
No, one of them's not going. And I look down the list. That's only one where 3's in the top 8 in AA.
Actually, in that Chapmanville-Logan section, you've got 5 teams in the top 12 in AA right now. It's absolutely insane in that section.
Wow.
So now steal by House. House brings it up to the middle of the floor, had it kicked away, and the ball somehow volleyballed out of bounds, and it'll stay or go over to Fairmont. But, yeah, at one point this year, all 6 teams in the section were in the top 12.
Well, they need to relocate that section down there. You got too many good teams in one section. Oh, House, I just love him as a player. It's never pretty, but it's always gritty.
Oh, yeah.
The boy's got toughness written all over him. And, that one got kicked up in the blue. So what? He'll be right back and watch the defensive play he'll make.
3 good by Johnson, and Harrison came out of his shoe that time. So they had to stop play while he got his shoe back on.
Well, that's one way to set up in your press.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's one way to actually get things set up.
Boy, Johnson's 3-point shot looks better than it did back in November or December. Still on that college level. December, not November.
And he's got 19 now for the game. He's got 15 here in the second half for Fairmont. The only problem is he's the only one that scored for Fairmont here in the second half. Nobody else in the scorebook for the Polar Bears other than Jalen Johnson. As driving in his Cruz. Looks, dump it off, gets it out to Harrison. He pump fakes. Now they'll bring it back out front with 4:55 to go as Cruz, waiting to get everyone set up, goes up against Flowers. As Bluefield benched one of the foul a moment ago. Now they go down low from Martin and stolen away by Gage. Michael, as he looks up ahead. Johnson again in transition, can't finish, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Fairmont, Bluefield letting the air out of the ball here. Has so much momentum going. They're playing so well, but, you're not at practice. We're not at practice every day. Maybe that's something that they're thinking when we're in a 3-point game later in the season, we need to work on that.
Yeah.
And this was an opportunity to work on it. So, that's why sitting over here behind the microphone now, I never try to judge coaches on, everything's going good. Why did you pull it out? Well, you may not know, but we're pulling this out for 3 games from now. We're trying to get better, and they turned it over there, so Bluefield may need some work on that part of their game.
And you know what, to do it against a good defensive team like Fairmont as well, that's about as good a practice as you're going to get. So,
right.
I agree.
And with Fairmont pressing, you got to attack the press to score, and they're not right now. They're attacking the press to set up and run clock. So you got to attack the press to score. Then if you don't score, then you can, like right now, you got numbers, you got to score. And you heard the coaching staff holler, take it.
Underneath to Martin, and he takes it the other side, and strong move by Martin.
Yeah, and that's such a fine line with young kids. You want to attack the score, but if you don't have a 70% shot, you want to pull it back out and run some time. And right there, they had a shot that they feel they can make more than 70%, and Martin's able to take it up and get a bucket.
And you see it here in our little general instant replay again. Great grab by Martin, and then getting to the other side in order to lay it in with a strong hand. As Flowers looks up ahead, Johnson gets behind everyone again and throws it down with authority as he continues his dominant second half. Up ahead, Paris now behind everyone, and he'll lay it in.
I misspoke about Johnson. He's one of the better players in the state right now.
Let's give him that upgrade right now.
Oh, my goodness.
This is 58-43 Bluefield. 3:50 to go in the contest as Johnson up top of the key. We said he scored all of the points for Fairmont Senior here in the second half and continues to do so. What a take by Jalen Johnson. How did he throw it in?
I'll say he hit the 3 from the right side. He got the dunk in transition here off of no dribbles, 1 catch, 1-2 dunk, and now he comes back with a left-handed attack of the glass in the set offense to get the and one.
This has been an impressive sequence for him.
Right there. Behind the back, through the leg. He had the angle on the defender, read that perfectly, drew the foul on the shoulder, and he finally did something wrong. He misses a free throw.
I'd say he's exhausted at this point with all the magic he's done here in the second half for Fairmont. But nevertheless, Bluefield still leading it by 13 as Washington's got his hands on that pass, tips it out of bounds, and now House looks like he has something in his eyes. Maybe it's sweat, maybe he got poked in the eye as Rivers will get up and check in here while House tries to clear the cobwebs.
Well, may help him on the offensive end, getting another guard. Definitely does. It never helps your team on the defensive end when House has to go out of the game.
Yeah, so he quickly went to a towel and started to wipe his eyes clean, and still fighting with it, but appears to be better now as we have 3:25 remaining.
Now Bluefield needs to attack the basket, and when you don't score, then pull it out. There you go, going north to south. Good play by Cruz. And if it doesn't go in, still a good play.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Now that's not a good play, fouling 83 feet from the other end, but was a good play by Cruz. Good shot. He's going to make that 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, it's one of those you'll live with all day if you're Coach Large at that point. That's team foul number 6. 16 fouls against both sides now.
Yeah, and Tony Webster, one of the assistants for Bluefield, has been with Buster Large forever, does a tremendous job.
Yeah, I was going to say this Bluefield coaching staff's been very active here today on this side. We've been right next to him, so we've got to hear it all.
And Buster Large doesn't have the ego, lets his assistants coach. He does a tremendous job.
And Smith in and out on the jumper. Washington's rejected by Paris. Now here comes Cruz up the right side. Cruz steps in. Now we'll bring it back out. Yeah, smart right there.
Good play by the quarterback.
Now they start to work on the clock here with 2:42 to go, 13-point lead, and Cruz will circle it back out.
Well, I'm going to hit you with some more of my knowledge. You ready for some more football knowledge, Chris? Cruz to the basket. Nope, not now. Not now. I thought it was going to be in a stall.
That's all right. We'll get to it here in a moment as Flowers gets it out. And he's rejected by Cruz. Comes back with the block, but taken back by Fairmont. They go inside to Smith. Flowers now to Washington's. Open three. Buries it from the right side.
It's a 10-point game now.
Fairmont refuses to go away, and now Paris drives in. Nice up and under, but can't get it to go. Rebounded by Harrison. He tries to go up and going to get a foul.
Look at that play by Harrison. I mean, that's a big rebound there. Washington's knocking down the tray ball from the corner. You come back to the other end. A missed layup by Bluefield. Fairmont has the ball. If they get that rebound, chance to cut it down to single digits. And there's the man going after the rebound, Tyrese Hairston, and he's going to the line. Oh, the football knowledge.
Yes,
the last quarterback in the history of Bluefield State football. He's sitting to your right, Buster Large.
Really?
Oh, he could sling it. He could sling it. And another guy I know that's watching tonight, he was the quarterback at Concord at the same time. Randy Barnett was his partner. I know he's listening tonight. I mean, he's watching the game on Video Productions right now.
Wow, again, you learn something new every day, folks. Never forget that. As Washington's 3 no good, rebounded underneath, tried to feed it off to Smith. Now loose and House and Washington's got tangled up, and they call a tie-up. It'll stay with Fairmont.
Fairmont ball, chance to cut it down to single digits.
And again, if you're Fairmont, you got to figure, why didn't we get the tie-up on the other end instead of the foul?
Yeah, that was a close one, and I was thinking the same thing, Chris, but trying to let it slide. My New Year's resolution. Oh, great play by Sean Martin. See it?
Now loose and Flowers goes diving for it, and what a save by him. Washington's back across midcourt. Dribbles in, pull-up jumper inside the arc, too strong, and rebound comes down to House. Outlet pass up ahead to Paris, and that could be the dagger with 1:35 to go. It's back to a 13-point lead. Johnson quickly on the other end and answers back just
back
fast.
to 10. Timeout, Fairmont. Exciting action here. Everything's going good. Looks like a full timeout.
Yeah, so full timeout, so we'll take it as well. This replay of Paris and the lay-in a moment ago, and then you'll see Johnson with the three on the other end. 61-51 Bluefield. We'll be back after this as you are watching high school basketball live, presented by Little General Store and live on Video Productions.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
Minute 28 to go, and number 3 Bluefield leading Fairmont 61-51. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolam with you here. And Bob, Jalen Johnson has been incredible. He had 4 points at the half. He's got 28 now for the game, 16 here in the fourth quarter alone.
Wow, 24 in the second half. He is putting on a show for Fairmont. So Fairmont's going to the foul game now. And, Dave Redden is precise in what he wants to do. So, minute 27, we're going to be here another 17 minutes. This is going to take a while. And, that's what you got to do for your team to win. But going through these players and talking about football, Paris's sister, Colin Paris' sister, was on YouTube or Facebook or something last week kicking a 35-yard field goal. And I'm like, wonder what Colin Paris is doing. Well, he signed to play kicker at WVU for football.
Oh, that's incredible. As Johnson this time unable to connect, rebounded by Harrison. He'll get up ahead to Paris. Now to House, 2-on-1,
Great
feeds it
play.
to Cruz. And Cruz, he's been impressive as well in the second half.
House, what an unselfish player. He does all the dirty work. I like to call him a junkyard dog. He guards the 6'7s. He'll guard the 5'7" point guard. And then gets a great steal, and what's he do? Drops it off to Cruz. I like House.
And Cruz with 17 in the second half. He's got 22 for the game, so it's really been Cruz against Johnson mostly here in the second half as Johnson dribbles in, trying to get point 30, and he misses on the dunk. Rebounded, though, underneath by Martin. Up ahead, Cruz drives in on Washington. He'll lay it in as he continues to pour it on here in the second half. It's 65-51 Bluefield, 50 seconds to go. Flowers.
Oh, nice crossover.
Oh, and misses at the rim. Rebounded by Paris, and he's fouled in the backcourt. And as you said, possibly future WVU kicker going to the free throw line now.
Yeah, and then you got 2 starters for Bluefield that are going to be football players for the Mountaineers next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, he and Martin, I guess they're talking about maybe being bunkmates or something up in Morgantown coming up soon. I said that's really quite an accomplishment for Bluefield athletics to have both of them going off to WVU as Paris hits the first.
And you can kind of watch Paris's demeanor on the court. Kickers have to be a different breed.
Oh, yeah.
You stand over all day, and then it's on you to look at Martin getting that loose ball rebound. Nice step through, didn't finish, but good play.
66-51, driving in, dish off to Washington. He'll get a layup with 32 seconds to go.
Washington's making some good plays here tonight. It's been a good game, 13-point game, but it's been competitive.
Yes,
it's been very competitive, and
this is going to be the closest game that Bluefield's had in their last 8 ball games, as we mentioned. Looking at their winning streak, they've won 9 in a row, going on 10 in a row, but 8 of those wins have been by 19 or more points. 7 of those wins have been by 23 or more points. And Fairmont was right there all afternoon. Again, just a couple of stretches there where Bluefield went on a couple of 7-8-0 runs that really gave them the breathing room that they needed here, but Fairmont's been within striking distance right down to the bitter end. So like we said, with Dave Redden, he's very proud of his kids. He said that after the Robert C. Byrd game. You got to feel like he's got to be really happy with the effort here against number 3 Bluefield today.
Oh, it has to be. And he's sitting there thinking, look how far we've come since December 13th. Now can we make that next step? We have about a month left before the state tournament. Can we continue to get better so we can be a threat? And as Braden Cruz goes to the line, he's a threat from anywhere in this gymnasium. Look at Martin again, 2 straight missed free throws. Now that's things that Dave Redden will go back and work on. You're not going to win doing those kind of things.
I tell you what, a missed second free throw with Martin underneath might be your best offense too. I mean, it's almost like a 3-point play in the making as we're down to 15 seconds left. Cruz will lob it over. Hairston with a nice grab, 69-53. And it appears that will be our final score here today as Hairston dribbles out the clock, and Bluefield will win their 10th game in a row as they set up their monumental clash on Monday night with number 1 undefeated Shady Spring. 69-53, Bluefield wins it here today. We'll step aside for a break, and when we come back, we'll recap today's action as well as preview that big clash coming up on Monday night here from the Armory. As you are watching high school basketball with us, presented by Little General Store and live on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
When you or your family need medical attention, get convenient health care at Prompt Care. Family practice for both well and sick visits, and they offer emergency care with x-ray and labs. Get excellent care at Prompt Care in Daniels.
Make your next car buying experience easy at Midstate Ford or Northside Automotive at Northside Drive in Summersville. We've got 9 great brands in one giant location: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC. That's right, folks, just off Route 19 in Summersville, West Virginia's premier car dealership, Midstate Ford and Northside Automotive. Just a short drive from anywhere. Visit us today.
The earth beneath my feet is turning like a wheel and beating like a drum.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
We have a lot of good soccer players that step up when we need them to and play certain positions, even if that's where they don't think they need to play. When you put all our roles together, we can be successful. My reason why is passion.
Back here at the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia, where the Beavers knock off Fairmont Seniors 69-53. Chris Kidd and Bob Bolin here with you. As let's look at the final scoring on both sides, starting with Fairmont. Leading all scorers was Jalen Johnson with 28 points, 24 of those in the second half. Then you had Trey Washington with 9 points, Eric Smith with 6, Gage Michael with 5 points, Jacob Gullimack with 3 points, and Dominic Vianney with 2 points. On the other end for Bluefield, they were led by Braden Cruz with 25 points, Sean Martin with 16 points, Colin Parris with 13 points, Jaheim House with 8 points, and Tyrese Hairston with 7 points to close out the scoring here this afternoon. And Bob, again, just an impressive second half by Johnson and Cruz. They really went at each other. Again, Cruz had 20 in the second half. Johnson had 24 in the second half. But it was really the strong defense of Bluefield here at the end that ended up being the big difference.
It was. Bluefield did a good job of creating havoc, creating turnovers, especially right at the start of the second half. And they were able to get that cushion, and then Cruz pouring in 20 in the second half when it was prime time was big. And then the other thing was Martin's shot blocking ability and changing shots. For Fairmont, you're looking to make the state tournament. You got Jalen Johnson pouring in 24 the second half. He really played well. this one's in the books. And you know what everybody in southern West Virginia is thinking about? What are they thinking about there, Chris? Monday night's game.
Oh, yeah.
Bluefield, Shady Spring. We'll be here with video productions to bring it to you. But, it's the first time ever that Shady Spring will be coming to the Brush Fork Armory, ranked number 1.
And these kids are making the right play.
It's been the other way around before.
The basketball.
And I believe this is the ending of that first game that you and Mark were there for, if I'm not mistaken, or at least one of the highlights from that game.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's going to be so exciting in here. It's going to be packed. People are going to be standing
will shoot
everywhere.
That double team as they did.
It's a game
great steal there by Bray Chapman. Yeah, he just ripped it out of his hands.
Yeah, especially
finds
the Bluefield
left
fans.
Corner. He comes over right corner with a nice pass after the baseline drive.
First game got away from them down the stretch. They felt like maybe they were in control and then lost it down at the end. So, they would love nothing more than to be here and to end Shady Springs' undefeated season and to end their reign at number 1 and possibly even give Bluefield that chance to jump them up to number 1. So there's a lot at stake in that ball game on Monday night.
There is, and you better tell the Bluefield people that Shady Springs been drawing 1,800 in 40-point blowouts. So they will be on 77 driving down here early.
Oh, yeah.
So don't be surprised if you see a packed house during the JV game, probably 50-50, Bluefield Shady fans, and it's going to be exciting. And again, this was a great tune-up game for Bluefield. Fairmont brought it this evening. Bluefield had to play. As you said, they've won 9 straight games by a considerable margin. Well, they had to play tonight, so that only goes in their favor to help prepare them for Monday night.
And you know what? Bob and Mark Martin will be here with you on Monday night for the call of that game. Again, they'll be on the air about 7:20 p.m. with the tip at 7:30 p.m. I will be on my couch with a big bowl of popcorn ready to watch that one on Monday night. That's going to be an exciting game.
And I got it. Robbie Mounts has been producing a bunch of these games. And our man Butch Mounts, glad to see you back in your seat, partner.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to have you back and healthy. And we are all ready to get ready for Monday night.
Well, let's take tomorrow off and enjoy that, and then Monday night it'll be rocking here from the Armory. Well, we appreciate you joining us here on this Saturday afternoon as Bluefield knocks off Fairmont Senior 69-53. So for Joe Mounts, our cameraman, Butch Mounts, our engineer, and Bob Boland, my color man, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long today from the Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia, as you have been watching high school basketball presented by Little General Stores live on Video Productions.